just the right people. I don't understand how they got away with it. Granted, it was because they had talked to the manufacturing companies of both pagers, and they said they discontinued them like a decade ago and had stopped making them. But there was a couple of third parties out there that still carry it.
I was going to get pregnant in the middle of a war and have a baby in the middle of a war, actually. I'm a pretty tough person. I'm not really
that bomb in Japan going off? Did it really happen?
The weird thing about war is that you don't have too much time to think. You're just constantly reacting. So, it's fine. That's all I can say, really. It's fine. It is what it is, right?
What do you think the Western press, to the extent you get to see it, is missing? What's something the rest of the world really needs to understand?
So many things, but to be honest with you, the way that the Middle East is covered is rarely in a nuanced way. I think we're lucky because we work for an Arab, but we write in English, so we have this opportunity to give people coverage that wouldn't normally be normal Western coverage for Middle Eastern people. Let's just talk about Gaza. Often the death count for Gaza would be way down lower. State debacle where the Israeli soldiers sexually attacked.
Can't wait till fucking 2 o'clock. I've been fucking on my phone for 4 hours.
I was reading a New York Times article that didn't mention sexual torture until way down low. It's always focused on the Western foreign policy and the American foreign policy.
I said I can't believe it's 2 o'clock. I've been fucking with the stupid phone for like 4 hours.
4 hours?
I probably only did like 3 because I didn't do anything.
It's the Israeli side because Israel and the U.S. and Israel and the Western world are allied, but rarely from the Arab side. And I think that more balance needs to come in.
Because I knew it was going to cool
Even though, for example, from the Arab side, you have more quotes from Hezbollah officials or from people that are supportive of Hezbollah. There's also plenty of people that are not supportive of Hezbollah, and lots of government officials in the Arab world that are not Hezbollah and so on. But you have to provide all of these viewpoints. You have to make sure that people are able to see what the reality is like, and it's rarely as simple and incomplex as Western media would present it. It's not like a cardboard thing of terrorists and we're eradicating terrorists. There's always a plethora of context that surrounds why these conflicts emerge and why they progress as they do.
Nada, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nada Homsi reports from the National's Beirut Bureau. Coming up, a deeper take through leaked tapes and eyewitnesses on the corruption of Benjamin Netanyahu. This is On the Media.
On the Media is supported by Progressive Insurance, presenting Progressive's Name Your Price tool, which shows customers coverage options that fit their needs. More at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Pricing and coverage match limited by state law. And by BetterHelp, committed to making mental well-being a priority and offering support in taking on everything life demands, with therapists available to communicate via video, chat, or phone at BetterHelp.com/public.
It's kind of like Shark Tank. Family-owned businesses hope to land their products at Denver International Airport with its 78 million passengers.
We're really excited to share one of our grandma's recipes at salsa.
I take it that's a no. Huh?
There's fucking shit all over the damn place. I mean, it's not on top of the seat, but gross. Something's got shit all over it.
Fucking kids and their dogs.
No, I think it's the Mexicans fucking blowing their ass out. They're tooting their own horn.
Somebody didn't like us.
This is On the Media. I'm Brooke Gladstone. Beneath the frantic stream of news stories churning around Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, a devastating one for him has been on the boil since May of 2020.
He's on trial for bribery, fraud, and breach of trust in Jerusalem District Court before 3 judges, 4 years in running now. He's due to testify in that trial. in December.
The trial was sprawling. Judges called 333 witnesses to the stand.
Bellingham
For years,
United, huh?
tapes of police interrogations have been kept
Well, that's
under
a college.
wraps. But for a new documentary, The BB Files, director Alexis Bloom uses hundreds of hours of leaked, previously unseen interrogation footage of BB, his wife Sarah, his son Yair, his staff, and inner circle to trace the story, the brass-bound link between the corruption charges and Israel's widening war.
The engine corruption case. It all started with the fact that the Prime Minister does not respect you.
I'll just leave the rest of this bag in here for you.
Anyone that dare to touch Mr. Netanyahu is good.
That's Israeli journalist Raviv Drucker, one of the main guides through the BB Files. Since we're speaking to him, we won't be airing any interrogation tapes because on the media can be accessed in Israel, where airing the leaked tapes is prohibited without prior approval. And Drucker already is under investigation by the Israeli government, so playing that tape in our conversation will put him into further legal jeopardy.
Do the Netanyahus know who you are?
Director Alexis Bloom.
Why don't you talk about it if you're not going to play it?
Yes, they do.
Drucker, currently a political analyst at Israel's Channel 13, has spent decades reporting on Israeli prime ministers from Ariel Sharon to Barak to Netanyahu.
Netanyahu personally sued me 3 times in the past for libel, and all of those cases, none of them reached real testimonies in court. He never got a penny from me, not an apology, nothing.
Let's zero in a little on Netanyahu's early life. His erstwhile childhood friend, Lizzie Beller, described how Bibi worshipped his older brother Yoni, the family's golden child, and as the lead commando of that legendary 1976 raid to free Israeli hostages in Entebbe, Uganda, Yoni was also the sole member of the team to die. Here's Uzi.
Yoni's death was definitely the making of Bibi. There's no question about it. It opened the door for something new to start.
The first time that we hear about Benjamin Netanyahu is because of his brother. It was the kicking off of his career, this tragedy. Since then, he has a lot of credit for being a very talented and gifted ambassador to the UN.
As Israel's ambassador to the UN in the 80s, he enthralled listeners with his vow to protect Israel against all enemies.
Russian terrorists, there's no neutrality. You have to choose. You're either with the terrorists or you're against them.
He's working tirelessly now to perform in front of the TV, what to do with your hands, what to look, soundbites. He became master for the art of TV.
You think it was partly those rhetorical speaks
What you after?
that helped his
What?
ambassador to
Oh, you
share
thought you were looking for something.
food party to Prime Minister at the unprecedented age of 47 back in 1996.
Yeah, he's real. And he had this hallelujah. Doesn't matter how much he is getting hurt politically from this story or this action. It's no coincidence that he is the long-serving Prime Minister of Israel.
He reported on several Israeli prime ministers, but at some point he started to realize that the corruption of Netanyahu is different.
Because his obsession with the media is something that we will never experience.
The extent of the corruption, the value of the gifts he received was pretty notable. One of the big cases covered in the documentary explores his involvement with an Israeli Hollywood mogul named Arnon Milchan, who became a billionaire producing massive Hollywood hits like Fight Club, Pretty Woman, 12 Years a Slave. He has 2 Oscars. But throughout Milchan's years in America, he kept strong ties to Israel. And as you say in the film, everybody knows that if you want to speak with the Prime Minister, go to Arnon. So what is important for us to know about that relationship?
For our region, it's so important to be close to the Prime Minister, any Prime Minister who was close to Barak, to Obama, to Shimon Peres. It's very important for him to be someone who is whispering in their ears. He's the Hollywood mogul, but he wants to be also involved in the Iranian-Israeli conflict or the government affairs in Israel. This is like entertainment. interrogation are very few. Most of the time, he's saying anything that I received is from a friend. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm the Prime Minister. He usually said, I don't remember, I can't recall, you know that I'm busy with Iran and Hamas and Hezbollah and the United States.
You mentioned Sara
Can't recall
Netanyahu.
these things.
She's Bibi's third and current wife, recipient of a lot of Milton's gifts, especially the champagne and the bling. The clips of her police interrogation are terrifying. They're even more thunderingly outraged than her husband's. You observe that they're almost like a couple that runs the country. I mean, are we talking about like Juan and Eva Perón in Argentina? What's her role in the government?
She has a lot of influence over Mr. Netanyahu's decision. People in Israel already know that. Only now, when Netanyahu joined a new minister to his coalition, all the headlines in Israel were the new minister will join only if Sara Netanyahu will not object. Those were the headlines.
Now to 2015, when Netanyahu wins his bid for re-election by a landslide, despite polls that predicted a dead heat. In the film, Nir Hefetz, Netanyahu's former media advisor, said that
This night was not only his biggest win, but also the day that he started to deteriorate.
2015 is a landmark because until then he always wanted to save some eye contact with the other camp. To be against them, against the elites, against the left wing, but not too much against them. And in 2015 he said, even though I was soft on them, they were all against me. And even though they were all against me, I won. And it makes him very vain, very right-wing, and then the interrogation came up, 2016, and since then we have a different Benjamin Netanyahu.
so
The Gaza
the
Strip
next
is
big
supposed to be for
investigation
Palestinians.
After Milton,
That was
centers around Netanyahu
back in
and
the
Israeli media
late
tycoon
80s, early 90s. They designated that,
Shaul
and then
who made
Israel
a
just
fortune
fucking keeps
importing
stealing parts of
Nokia
it back,
cell phones, but found
building
himself
houses there,
suffocating under a mountain of debt after taking out millions of bank loans.
making them occupiers
And in
instead of
2016, he panicked, reached out to Netanyahu. You referred to this earlier, Bibi's obsession
Not
with
at all
the media.
surprised Hamas
He
fought
seized
back.
the opportunity to take over
Is there a
news
way out of
outlet
here if they lock that
called
gate?
Walla. This was not exactly an important news outlet
lock it
for
till
the
it's covered in
tycoon.
snow.
It mattered a lot to Netanyahu.
When you look at this period, he did a couple of things to at least 4 or 5 media
I was thinking if you went down that way,
trying
you'd
to
probably find a
control
way out.
them, or soften the coverage,
probably find a way
or
over
to
that other
get
road that
these
comes up by
people
that
to
gate.
be inside those media outlets.
I don't know
From
if the gate has
all
a
of
lock
those
on it.
activities, 2 media outlets became a criminal case. One, it's called Idiot Achronot, the largest newspaper in Israel. The second one is this website.
Voila.
The
I've never seen this
thesis
bathroom
of
block,
this
so I don't know.
indictment is
I wouldn't
saying,
think so.
look, this is a quid pro quo deal. Netanyahu is giving this
Remember, we've come down here
all
with
kind of
snow all over the
regulation
road
that the
before.
government can give that will help him to
We've come down
finance
here
his
with
debt.
snow all over the road
And
before.
in
We've almost got
return,
stuck once.
this website
More
will
than once.
actually surrender.
Take your keys, boss.
Okay.
Just in case. The wind's cold. It's good thing I wore what I wore.
Really?
Huh?
My legs are really hot. Just 'cause I got 2 pairs of pants on.
Bride and fraud. We know that since
So I was sleeping really good, and Randy goes, "You go with me to the park?" And here I am. I am. Gotta change the socks. It's shower day. And change these socks too. Wearing them. Good for these. Yeah, if you put the shirt off first. Yeah, pants need to go too. I figure these shoes have about 300 miles on them. But I kept taking track. I lost count of my shoes. So, come in here to put on a couple of new pair of socks. I have water in here. Up this thing, need to get this thing wet. Wash my feet. Got soap. Thought I had soap in here, I guess I don't anymore. Get a pair of toenail clippers in here. Should. There. Yep. Toenail clippers. My toenails got too long? Or my fingernails got too long? My mom used to tease me, she said, are you trying to become a girl? I'm like, no, Mom, I just don't look at my feet. That's why I dropped the refrigerator on my toes. You gotta be sock, sock, shoe, shoe. Or sock, shoe, sock, shoe. Got toenail polish. I don't mind both pair of shoes. The foot's yellow. And the tongue. Makes me wonder if the cats are peeing on my feet. On my shoes. It'll be the first time they've done something funny. Like that. Oh boy, this one's bad too. Wow, that's worse than the other one. My toenail clippers go. Jesus Christ. That's going. Like in my cutters. You go in and get the junk out when you get home. update today. It's like the 4th. Tomorrow's Monday, banking day. Might have that other program. The other one's easy. The test questions make sense. It's not like Arc's design where I do nothing about it. I was lost the whole time through. That was a bitch to go through it. Fail after fail after fail after fail after fail after fail. It was just like that. And when you passed it, you ready to pass your test last time. Congratulations. I didn't even study. I looked at the last test, and one of the sections I forgot. Somehow I skipped it because I didn't know anything at all about it, and that's what pulled me up. This real estate is the easiest thing. Took the first test. I got 23.6%. Just about the same thing I did on the first test on the other course. I thought, oh God, here it comes again. And then I took it again. I got 85%. I knew I passed it because I knew all the answers, but I got 85%. It's like, how in the hell did I do that? I was thinking, what would have happened if I would have been on the other one? So I backed out of that for a while and got into the real estate program. I thought, this is going to be good. And then I took my first test, 23% again. Oh no, not again. And the second time, I passed it at 85%. Today, or yesterday, I took a test on real estate. 80%. First time I took it. Hey Randy, I passed my test. Okay, cool. So anyway, I had all that done and everything. Now I'm 4 sections away from a real estate license. As I said, oh, don't get it, you're not going to need it. I get that real estate license, I can sell my trust as my house as a broker and not a real estate agent. I could call up Marine and say, hey, guess what? I got my real estate license, I'm a broker now. They're going to go, what? Yeah, I can broker loans. I can broker deals. So, I'm going to list my parents' house. But I think I'm not going to do it. I think I'm going to work with these guys. And if they give me like $500,000 or something like that, I'm probably just going to take it. 2 reasons. It's $500,000. Randy and I can go buy what we want out in Craig. He's going to want to move. I'm going to want to stay. We're probably going to go. 2, I could buy a car and get a title for a car right away. They're trying to give me loans, stuff like that. I'm not doing it. But I sit here, Randy's in the bathroom. I know he's going to be in here at least a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. Then he's going to want to go wading or something. Okay. It's his day off. Or it's his Friday night. He works tonight. I like it better with him here than with him gone. I've been really adamant over that over the last, a few times and everything else that we've been out doing something. But it's one of those things it is what it is. You got a war coming on because that's what the gurus want. It's not going to happen that way. I mean, I've seen some real miracles in my time. And things have happened, stuff like that. And everybody's like, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen. Our Bible says this. Even Laura told me, she goes, what do you think we could write if we write a book like that? A Bible? I don't know. I think that's something people should be writing. If you taking destiny into your own hands, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, I could do it too, but I'm not going to. So I think I'm going to, I don't know. I at least want 800 million out of that house, or 800,000. I don't think I'm being a bit greedy. I mean, Dad was an entrepreneur. He was a trillionaire. I did not know that about Dad. Dad goes, you need to know about my finances. I walked away. Went in and I slammed the door. He came in and knocked on the door and opened it. I was crying. He said, what's wrong? I want you. I don't want your damn money. You and just Leslie are two different creatures. He sat there and he told me how she was with it. And what she was doing with it and everything else. I said, I really don't care. I don't need money. I don't want money. I don't know if Leslie was with me in England. I think she stayed here. Because I don't have any memories of her and me together in England. And there are no pictures of us together in England. So, either one or two things happened. Leslie was into a religious cult, which I thought she was with her neighbors. Or, the fact is, Leslie's not my real sister. Although people think she is. I also thought Erica was my kid. Erica had a terrible crush on me. She would take her picture, put it on my bed, or on my dresser. She'd tell everybody, this is your girlfriend. Because I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. I hadn't been with anybody in a while. I don't know. So, take Randy as long as I have him. I think that if I do decide to use let the other people work with me on my house, which I already called them up and said that I had a house I wanted to sell. I wanted to sell it for at least $800,000, and see what they do about it. We both can use the money, but they're already rich and famous. They got cars, they got race cars, they have race car classes they're in, and all kinds of other stuff. It's just a lot of real estate's been very, very good to them. Everything that I'm doing, every one of these programs can do the same thing. But you have to stick with him, you have to start with him, and you have to work with him. I haven't done that yet. I did that with Igor. Oh, I would put $796 in your account. Randy said it was Bill. I said it was. I should have waited to see if the money would have went in. It would have been a passive income. I have the attorney elite. I asked him if I could cut it in half or this, that, and everything else. And then they started building up my credit score, which was pretty good. My credit score jumped up 50 points, 60 points, whatever it was. The 781, when I bought that car, he destroyed it. I bought this thing called Credit Deals, and I looked at it. I didn't really read the book, and I thought, maybe yeah, we'll read this. But not right now. Here I don't have reception. The other place I have a reception. I'd probably be zooming on my phone. I click my toenails. Put on, change my socks that I've been sitting there for. Five or 6 days. I shower. No, I changed them I changed them 3 days ago. When I had some time by myself. I don't know. There was controversy today. The guy goes, "What is it?" I walked in the bathroom and he goes, "It's girl." But I usually don't have any of those moments, Yeah, it is what it is. Not much I can do about it. I'm just stuck for the ride. I'll take an empty bottle and I'll leave it in here in case I need a bottle. I can fill it up with outside water. The water at the park is clean. You go picnics over there all the time. People are always doing stuff with the water. Wow. These new socks make my feet feel much better. I didn't even use soap. I just used plain water, but they're clean. Socks and the towel is dirty. I cleaned the door, and part of that got on the top. When I got on the top, I killed it. So I didn't do it anymore. I'm happy. I mean, Randy and I aren't going to go anywhere. We love each other. We're going to be together for as long as he or I'm alive. So I was talking about my dream about Route 57. I had the kids. I was in the bottom floor of this hospital, and there's a room there and everything else. And I got up out of the bed and I didn't look at the time. I didn't look at the clock. I just looked around the room. And I was dressed. And I didn't know what happened. So I got up there and I went up there, and the doctor goes, "Oh, you're awake." I go, "Yeah? Why? What's wrong?" He goes, "Go back downstairs and I'll tell you." So he started telling me how Randy came by for the first 2 years and was looking at me and everything else. I said, "You mean I've been in an incubator for 2 years? Or on life support for 2 years?" And yeah, you were. You kept on fading in and out. And sometimes your heart would stop, sometimes it would start. So we didn't know what you were going to do, and then you stabilized. You just kept your eyes closed. You didn't move, body temperature normal. So we decided to leave you here. Your husband came in, and your kid, every day for 2 years. And I said, "Well, what happened to him?" "He died. We took your accounts, put all your accounts together. You have everybody your money. We tracked down the stuff that you were missing. You have the original accounts. We thought if you woke up, you might want to have your assets and everything else, and you might want to do stuff." Wait a minute, how long have I been asleep? 57 years. You're pulling my leg. You can't. That's impossible. That can't happen. Well, it did. It's happened before for only about 10 or 15 years. You got the record. So anyway, all that happened. I had all my stuff. I worked with them for a while, and then I looked back on my life. Went to England. Don't even think about it, Bucky. Everybody knows the belch is your mating call.
Black Widow up there in the corner.
Yeah, I made Dad kill one of those and he got mad at me. I was like 5. No, I was about 8.
The East War
It's in the
approaches
garage.
one full
Why they
year,
wanted to
and
bite the
as the
cat?
conflict
It might be
expands.
dead.
Health officials
It's up
say
in the
the
very
strikes
peak
have killed
in-
scores
inside.
of people, and
Yeah.
that Israel is considering a strike on Iran. NPR's Daniel Estrin has more from Tel Aviv.
Israel's military has dropped leaflets in North Gaza that say, "We're in a new phase of war." Israel has ordered new evacuation orders for all of North Gaza, where several 100,000